MOGO offers many helpful reports ranging from production to referral summaries. A unique feature of MOGO is the Business Analysis Report. The analysis report contains information from many of MOGO's other reports, all in one location. There are 5 sections in the analysis report: doctor working time, production and collection, new patients, treatment plans, and recall. Before we look at each section and the information they contain, let's take a quick look at the options. Under the View menu, we can choose the analysis report skin, choose which sections to show, access settings, and show or hide days with no production or collection. Choosing Setup Report Display, we can see the different fields of information for each section. If you want to change the font, its style, or size, you can click Setup Report Fonts. If your practice has multiple locations set up in MOGO, we can choose to view all locations at the same time. To do this, we click on Show Office Location List. This will bring up a selection box on the left side of the window. You can choose which locations to display on the analysis report by checking them off and clicking OK at the bottom. Finally, we can reset any changes we have made back to the defaults. There are 2 different modes in the analysis report, either monthly or yearly. By default, the analysis report includes information for the entire office. You can adjust this by selecting individual or groups of providers. If viewing the report in yearly mode, the arrows to navigate will change the year. The month dropdown will dictate the office's fiscal year. For example, if your office's fiscal year is from October to September, we would choose October from the dropdown. When looking at the monthly mode, the arrows move to the month, and you can choose the year from the dropdown. Regardless of which mode you choose, the format of the report remains largely the same. The first column is going to be the previous column. In monthly mode, this is the month-to-date totals from the previous month. In yearly mode, it would be the year-to-date totals from the prior year. In yearly mode, there will be 14 columns, the first being prior year, the next 12 for each month, and the final being the year-to-date for the chosen year. Monthly is the same, except there is a column for each day, and the last column is the month-to-date totals. Each section of the report contains that specific data. Doctor working time shows the days and hours worked for the selected provider or providers. The days field will either display 0 or 1. If there is an appointment scheduled in the appointment book on that day for the chosen provider or providers, it will display 1. Doctor hours is the total time of all of the appointments scheduled for the chosen provider or providers. Your productions are broken down to show the month-to-date or year-to-date net production, daily gross production, adjustments, discounts, the net production, production per day, production per hour, and averages, both in individual and 3-month intervals. Collections are very similar, showing you the month-to-date or year-to-date net collections, a total for cash and checks, the credit card total, the gross collection, NSF payments, reimbursements, the net collections, refunds, collections per day, and the collection percentage based on production. You can see information regarding your accounts receivable balances as well. The New Patients section breaks down how many patient records were created. You can see how many of those new patients were from an internal or external referral source, how many are adults and how many are children, as well as seeing how many of those new records actually scheduled an appointment. The Treatment Plans section lets you see how many plans were presented to new and existing patients, how many were accepted, what the percentage of accepted versus presented was, as well as the dollar amounts. This information pertains to plans created in the restorative chart and the treatment planning module. You can see totals from your first 3 recall lists as well. This will show you how many patients came in for that recall type on that date or month. A handy feature of the analysis report is the ability to expand data in order to get more information. For example, on March 25th of 2016, there were $788 worth of discounts entered. If we want to find out who those discounts were for, we can click on the field. There is a pop-up that says View Details For. If we click on that, MOGO will take us to a Power Sort report with that day's information. Each section of the analysis report contains its broken down data, but they also include a helpful chart to view the data as a whole. The Doctor Working Time chart lets us see the total hours for each day. By default, the Production and Collection chart will show us the gross and net for both production and collection in a simple bar graph. We are able to change what fields are displayed by checking them off at the bottom. This section actually contains 3 charts. You can also view the production and collection data broken down. The production chart lets us view net production along with discounts and/or adjustments. The collection chart can show either cash and checks and credit cards, or each one individually. This view also lets us view the default production and collection chart, as well as a running balance of the accounts receivable totals. The top 2 charts can be viewed in either area or bar graph forms, a 3D view, and you can show numbers for each peak. The production and collection chart can be viewed as a line or bar graph, has a 3D view, and can also display the numbers for each value. The third option is designed for yearly mode. It lets you view the gross production, adjustments, net production, and discount totals compared to the last 2 years. You have 2 chart options for both new patients and treatment plans, one showing the totals in a line graph, and the other showing both area and bar as well as pie graphs. The recall chart shows the information as a line graph. If you want to keep a record of the results in your analysis report, you have 2 options. You can print the report by section by clicking on the printer icon. The analysis report will ask which sections you wish to print. The Print Preview window gives you the choice of the 2 different options. You can click on Print to keep a paper copy of the report, or you can click on the Export icon. You have options as to what type of file you want to export your report to, the most common being a PDF or a CSV or spreadsheet format.